18 runs needed, 7 overs left, 6 wickets in hand. A stroll in the park for the batting side, you would assume. Well, it turned out to be a cliffhanger towards the end. Let's talk about Auckland 2003 on Prime Video Sneak Peek, where India almost lost an ODI against New Zealand from a commanding position. It had rained for 2 days in Auckland leading up to the game, so it wasn't a surprise when India won the toss and elected to field first in tough batting conditions. New Zealand struggled pretty much through their entire innings as the seamers were able to extract consistent sideways movement with the ball. India decided to not use any spin with the medium pace of Saurav Ganguly and Sanjay Bangar teaming up as the fifth bowling option to support the pace quartet of Srinath, Zahir, Nehra and Agarkar. At the end of the 47th over, the home team were reeling at 151 for 9 as the visitors looked to wrap things up quickly. But Shane Bond had other plans. The number 11 hammered an unbeaten 31 runs of just 15 balls to end the innings on a high. At the other end was a young Lou Vincent who showed his class with an unbeaten 53 to help his side post a fighting total of 199 for 9 in not the easiest of batting conditions.
Well, Lou Vincent was an absolute live wire. I was very lucky to play the test match, his first test match, where he got 100. So I was in the middle with him then and saw his talent from the other end. He was a fine player, absolute athlete, a real live wire, catalyst for a lot of things with us. And the one-day game he was really suited to. He's magnificent in the field and probably didn't make the most of his talent with the bat. But on this occasion he contributed, which was good because we needed, once again, was a little bit of a wobble at the top, but those all-round skills and players that could bat all the way through the order were really important.
Virender Sehwag and Saurav Ganguly started the chase well for India, adding 70 of the first 15 overs before the India captain fell to Andre Adams. Things slowed down considerably for India as the field spread out, as the likes of Styrus, Harris, Mills and Tuffy applied the brakes on India's scoring. But there was no stopping Sehwag, who brought up his second century of the series and clearly looked the most comfortable batter from either side that day on a tricky surface. New Zealand captain Stephen Fleming did admit how it's always tough to plan for a batter of Sehwag's ability.
Well, the planning for Sehwag would sort of start about 1 a.m. in the morning, where you'd wake up as a captain in a cold sweat saying, what am I going to do? He was that dangerous, and he was sort of pioneering the game. Son of J.S. Surya, and Mark Greatbatch actually sort of did it in stages, but this guy was just dominating from ball one, had no fear, and his ability to hit the ball so clean and so far, in particular over sort of that point cover and third man area, was quite terrifying. So coming up with a plan to try and stop him, it was that important that you got him out early. But again, on this occasion, we couldn't do it. But he was such a hard man to bowl to, and fearless cricket just came to mind. He would just take the game on and was such a talent. He was amazing to watch and a real great competitor to go up against.
When Sehwag fell in the 42nd over, he had scored 112 of the 182 that India had managed until that point. Since India were docked for slow over rate, they had only 49 overs to bat. From a New Zealand point of view, Shane Bond was off the field due to a ear infection and would not be able to bowl his 4 remaining overs. So it came down to 18 runs of 7 overs with 6 wickets in hand. Fleming had no choice but to go with Chris Harris and Andre Adams for the remaining overs. With the pitch holding up as it was, new batters were struggling to get bat to ball.
Back in New Zealand in those days, there was a transformation around our wickets. We still have wickets that would get slow, so there wouldn't be a lot of pace and bounce. And as the game would go on, it would just get slower and slower. So scores of 200, 220 were still quite competitive. And on this occasion, it was just a case of hanging in there. Chris Harris was just annoying. You could tell that the players just wanted to get hold of him, but the ball would never arrive, and it would just look like a lot going on at the other end, but it would just sort of float out, and players would just get a bit caught up in what to do, whether to try and whack it or place it, and they'd end up just either patting it back to him or hitting fielders. So we used to use that a lot and just use our fielding skills and just try and get some pressure through that way. And this occasion we had nothing to lose, so with competitive fields and just sort of picking out wickets, we got pretty close, but the feeling was it was always too far away, but we should never have got that close.
It came down to 4 of the final over with Mohammad Kaif and Zahir Khan at the crease. There was still some drama left as India lost both these batters off successive deliveries to make it 2 needed of 3 and only 1 wicket in hand. A leg bye followed by a slash from Ashish Nehra with the field up saw India home in a chase which shouldn't have been this tense in the first place. I hope you enjoyed a recap of this close game, and don't forget to catch all the action from India's tour of New Zealand live on Prime Video from 18th to 30th November.